Okay, so I'm going to show you how to make vegan queso cheese dip. Now, what brought this all up is we went to the Wild Cow in Nashville and they had a vegan queso. Now, we aren't vegans, but with that said, we're trying to get as much away from dairy as possible. So, when we, I'm not giving up white milk because I like the taste of that.
Human breast milk.
See, this would have been when I would have hit him, but I have a tool in my hand and I don't want to wash it. So it's nice and clean already.
Milk. So, go ahead. I'll
back
be good.
to the point, the white milk's fine, drinking on its own, but, you can't really get that same flavor in a soy or a hemp or a rice or a coconut. There's about 3,000 things you can probably say. If it was flavored or cooking, that's where we use it the most. So today, we are making vegan queso. I'm going to use a flax milk.
You can get it at Walmart.
Yeah. Chili powder. Diet cheese.
Almost out of.
What? Diet? We have more in the freezer. Some sriracha, or sriracha. I don't know. I can't pronounce it.
It's Asian. I don't know. It's good
sea salt. And it's 3 tablespoons of Earth Balance. Okay, so, and hopefully this all works out. So first thing I do, get the Earth Balance on our dirty stove, sorry, and start heating it low. Okay, next, Dave, while it's heating, I basically cover the bottom. I'm not measuring. I'm covering the bottom of this size of saucepan. So now what I'll do is just wait for it to heat. My heat right now is like a 7, which is like a medium high, or so not the highest.
7.
But use your own judgment. This may take a little bit because what I'm doing first is melting the cheese down with the milk. Yay.
As you can see, she's using a big burner for a small pot. Nice.
As you can see, the person who never does the cooking, who also had this dish dirty and this pot dirty, does not do anything but criticize.
I always do the dishes around here.
Well, you left it dirty. So while that's doing that, I'm just going to, Dave, keep an eye on this for a second. I'm going to pull out some more diet just in case we need it. I don't think we will.
Eyes. See, eyes are looking at it. Look, I got another set of eyes right here. Kids, don't do this at home.
Yeah.
Small pot for a big burner. See, we live for danger around here.
What?
We live for danger.
You should say kids shouldn't be on the stove at home. Okay, yeah, you can get out of the way. You're
still a kid.
That's why I'm the one who does all the cooking in the household.
Milk.
David, focus on my face.
Focus.
So I'm just going to talk for a little bit. You might as well focus on me because this is going to take a few minutes for this to melt. So what I'm doing right now, like I said, is melting the Earth Balance. This one's a block. I guess you could use your tub, but we usually like using that for buttering stuff. For this, for any cooking, we always use the Earth Balance sticks, which I have found is only sold in like Whole Foods. Right? Or is the public
the stick butter?
Yeah.
So far Whole Foods and some small nutritious place out here.
Yeah, so those type
Whole Foods generally, yes.
Whole Foods. If you want Earth Balance, the tubs, they're sold practically everywhere. Well, that might be exaggeration. We found it at Walmart. We found them at Publix. You may not get like the 3 or 4 different varieties that you get at the other places.
For those who are not in Florida, maybe you can find it at Kroger. Yes.
David just passed a Kroger for the first time when we went to Nashville. He didn't even go in it, but he wonders if it's going to be so much more amazing. Let me put it out to you, people. If I have a choice at a grocery store, I'll go to a Publix, because Publix is not as crazy as Walmart. Yeah, or other grocery stores. Plus, it's nicer and it has more variety. But, with that said, we're not focusing on grocery stores right now.
Mm-hmm.
We're almost done here. I'm just going to wait till it finishes at the last melting. I actually took that piece out of the freezer. So like I said, I use the block. Most grocery stores will have the tub, at least the ones I've been used to. I'm lowering the heat to about 5 now, just because we're going to start melting the cheese. Before we do that, actually no, that's what we're doing next. So I'm going to do this in little intervals. So I'm not going to get clumpiness. I'm starting with, ooh, that came out a little more than I'd like, but that's okay. So what I'm doing
put the rest in there.
Stop talking, let me finish. So first I'm doing is melting it down. While I'm doing this in intervals, it would have been a little bit better if I didn't have it all come out at once, so that all of it can kind of melt down instead of get that big chunk of clump. Okay, babe, pass me the rest of it.
Which one do you want first?
The rest of this. No.
Oh, yes.
How about you just listen? I'm going to need that next bag probably in a little bit too.
Holy cow.
Oh, I think
we should defrost it first, or is it going to melt right away?
It's going to be fine because it's going to go in hot surface. So right now it kind of still looks a little bit like grits, but we're still...
Yellow grits.
And if you're from the South, you know exactly what grits are. It does look a little like grits, doesn't it?
I think that's good.
Why don't you not talk and just watch? David, who never cooks, always has an opinion about cooking.
I do cook, thank you very much. I cooked today.
He cooked his own grits.
And I cooked... What else did I cook today? I cooked something else. I can't remember what it was. Oh, I had some watermelon. But well, okay, you don't cook watermelon.
Yeah, you cut it up and eat it. Put a little more cheese because it's still not...
And I toasted bread. That's almost like cooking. Anyways. Okay.
What I'm trying to do now is just get it a good cheesy texture. It's almost to the point where I like it. Like it to be more cheesy than anything. Now, this looks not a lot different for the first time. I think the texture is just a little different. And you'll learn the last time we used soy milk instead of flax. But every time you do something like this, it's going to be a little different. The main gist is making sure you've got mostly a combination whereas sometimes it might be all oil. Yeah. You don't want it to be like a pure, like it looks like a big cheese glob with oil around it.
Let me just go over the flax milk real quick. Lactose and dairy-free, gluten-free, and for people who don't like soy, it's soy-free.
Okay, thank you for advertising.
It's an alternative to almond milk.
Okay, I think that's pretty good. I'm turning it down to low now because at this point we're just adding this. So, the sriracha. It's basically a hot sauce.
It doesn't focus, but...
Yes, it does. You just don't know how to do it. So, you use your generous... Guess how much you'd like to make it. So, now it's looking really nice and... Okay, sweetheart, pass me the chili powder, which is in your hand. You don't have to buy the expensive chili powder, believe it or not. I just do enough to color it. And all this stuff, the sriracha, the chili powder, even the salt, can be to your own flavoring. You may be someone who likes it really hot. You may like it...
I can smell it now, man. Woo!
You may not be someone who likes it really hot. It's really up to your preference. I always put salt in, even if I don't put a lot, is mostly to bring out the flavor. That's what salt does.
Should we have pepper in there too or not?
We just had chili and sriracha. I think we got enough heat going on. Especially for... Okay, I'm going to turn off the stove and take it off the hot burner.
And the best thing about this flax milk, it's only 50 calories and 8 ounces. So, that's good. About 1 cup.
So...
Vegan queso.
I will let David do the case. Now, usually I would say, don't let it be really hot.
Oh my gosh.
But first we're going to show you the texture. See, it's not like too liquidy. It's pretty good. It's got some flavoring. We're also keeping it out for a second when you show it, so that way David doesn't burn his tongue. Okay. So, wait. Okay, David. Go for it. How's it taste? Now, this is...
Not as spicy as the soy milk.
Huh?
Not as spicy as with the soy milk.
Oh, so...
It's more milder.
Okay, so we want to add a little more spice to it? More sriracha, maybe?
Try this again.
A little more sriracha?
Yeah, a little more stuff.
Okay. So, as you can tell, certain things you'll know by taste. This is the quickest way to make it a little spicier.
Now I can feel the taste the aftertaste to it.
So we
That's probably enough right there, man. Like blood.
Okay. So.
Yeah, now you can try it this time.
Okay. Let me take a little out. Well, that's a little one. Well, that's okay.
I think we're running on chips.
Maybe you need to go and buy some more. Okay, I'm going to let it cool for a second because I don't want to...
It's actually pretty warm.
Yes, that's why I don't want to burn my tongue.
No, warm, not hot, I'm saying. How you compare to this flax milk compared to soy?
Okay, so it's still not really spicy because, it does have an aftertaste.
Yep.
So I will say,
Drink
depending on what milk you use, or non-dairy milk, depends on the kick, I think. Because when we used the soy, the heat was more all the way around, whereas when we used the flax milk, it was more like a little spicy and then an after kick. So, it's all your preference. Plus, you may add way more than we add. We're not the spiciest people in the world.
I think we're good. And this stuff's pretty darn healthy, too. It's got low in sodium, very low in calories. Like, next to nothing.
Okay, so,
yeah.
Thank you, thank you, Wild Cow, for making the vegan one. Okay, so, if you're natural, it's good to try. However, this is way better, and my only reasoning why is Wild Cow still had a little the oil separation. This does not. And it doesn't taste like a Blanco queso, which I think is going to be kind of hard. Maybe we'll try using a mozzarella instead of the dyed cheddar. But it's pretty good. It's as good as any sort of store regular queso you have out there. Thank you. Hope you enjoy.
Oh, just one thing. If people were asking what the Wild Cow is, it's in Tennessee.
Nashville, Tennessee. It's a vegan vegetarian restaurant. They default to serve you anything vegan. If you want something with dairy, you must request it. But obviously no meat.
Yep. Alrighty.